Jerry was the leader. He was not just any leader, but a cat with a commanding presence that could be felt from miles away. His sleek black fur shimmered under the sunlight, and his eyes, oh his eyes, were like two glowing emeralds that could pierce through the darkest of nights. Jerry had a reputation in the city not just for his bravery, but for his wisdom and strategic mind. He was the kind of leader who inspired loyalty and courage in those who followed him. He was a sleek black cat with eyes like emeralds. His gaze was intense, and it seemed as if he could see right through you. Jerry's presence was enough to make even the bravest of foes think twice before crossing his path. Jerry was brave and always ready for a fight. Beside him sat Larry, his loyal companion and the muscle of the group. Larry was not just any cat. He was a large orange tabby with a heart as big as his size. Larry was a large orange tabby. His fur was thick and his muscles rippled beneath it. He was the protector, always ready to defend his friends from any danger that came their way. He was strong and protected the others. Terry was the smallest, but what he lacked in size, he made up for in intelligence and cunning. He was a gray cat with a sharp mind. Terry's eyes were always alert, constantly scanning their surroundings for any signs of trouble or opportunity. Terry was the brains of their little group. He could come up with a plan in the blink of an eye, and his quick thinking had saved them more times than they could count. Together, they were the Three Musketeers. They were more than just friends. They were a family, bound by their loyalty to each other and their love for their city. The Three Musketeers were no ordinary cats. They had a bond that was unbreakable, and their adventures were the stuff of legends. They lived in the heart of Keswick, Ontario, Canada. The quiet town was their home, and they knew every nook and cranny of it. The city was their playground. From the busy streets to the quiet parks, they roamed freely, always on the lookout for their next adventure. Its parks and monuments were their hunting grounds. They knew every hill, every tree, and every hidden corner where they could find a new mystery to solve. But today, adventure found them, and a mystery needed solving. Something unprecedented had happened, something that shook the very core of their beloved city. The White House was gone. The iconic building had vanished without a trace, leaving behind an empty lawn and a city in shock. It had vanished without a trace. No one had seen or heard anything, and the entire city was left in a state of confusion and fear. No one knew how or why. The authorities were baffled, and the citizens were scared. But amidst the chaos, three figures stood tall and determined. Larry, Jerry, and Terry knew they had to do something. This was their friend's city. They couldn't just stand by and watch as it fell into disarray. They had to save it. They had faced many challenges before, but this was their biggest one yet. The Three Musketeers had a plan. They would use their unique skills to uncover the mystery and bring back the White House. They would use their skills to find the White House. Jerry would lead with his bravery and wisdom. Larry would protect with his strength and loyalty. Terry would think with his sharp mind and quick wit. Together, they would succeed. The fate of Washington, D.C. rested in their paws, and they were ready for the challenge. These three cats, originally from Keswick, Ontario, Canada. It was Sam, their trusted friend, who first alerted them to the White House's disappearance. Without Sam's keen observation, they might have been too late to act. The Three Musketeers raced towards a giant oak tree. Their paws barely touched the ground as they sprinted through the forest, their hearts pounding with urgency. The path was familiar, yet every step felt more critical than the last. It stood on a hill overlooking the city, a silent guardian watching over the chaos below. The tree was ancient, its branches spreading wide like protective arms. This was the home of Sam the Eagle. Sam was their friend. He would help them. His keen eyes had seen many things, and his wisdom was unmatched. The Musketeers knew they could count on him in times of trouble. Sam's treehouse was nestled high above the ground, hidden among the leaves. It was a place of refuge, a sanctuary where they could find solace and safety. It was a haven from the fear that gripped the city below. The stormy sky loomed ominously, but within the treehouse there was a sense of calm and protection. The Three Musketeers climbed the familiar branches with practiced ease. Each branch was a step closer to safety, each leaf a reminder of the sanctuary that awaited them. They reached the treehouse and entered. The door creaked open and they were greeted by the warmth and comfort of their second home. Inside it was warm and welcoming. The familiar scents and sights brought a sense of peace. The treehouse was filled with soft cushions and warm blankets, a stark contrast to the turmoil outside. Zach the tapir was munching on leaves, his calm demeanor a soothing presence. He looked up and nodded in greeting, his eyes filled with understanding. Sally the Chihuahua was chasing her tail, her playful antics bringing a smile to everyone's face. Her energy was infectious, a reminder that joy could still be found even in dark times. They were also friends of the Musketeers. Together they formed a tight-knit group, bound by loyalty and friendship. They knew they could face any challenge as long as they were together. "So it is true," Jerry said, his voice urgent. The room fell silent as everyone turned to listen, their hearts heavy with anticipation. "The White House is gone!" Sam told them, his voice filled with gravity. The words hung in the air, a shocking revelation that left everyone in stunned silence. The gravity of the situation was clear, and they knew they had to act quickly. Zack stopped chewing. Sally stopped spinning. They stared at the three musketeers. Fear filled their eyes. "It's true," Sally whimpered. "The humans are saying terrible things." "What are they saying?" Larry growled, his fur bristling. "They're saying that the animals took the White House," Zack said, his voice trembling. "They're blaming us." A shadow fell across the entrance to the treehouse. Angry shouts rose from below. A mob of humans was approaching. They were armed with sticks and stones. Their faces were contorted with rage. "They're coming!" Sally shrieked. She hid behind Zack's massive legs. A loud cry for help caught Jerry's ears. Boris, the gold hunting polar bear, was lumbering towards the tree. He was terrified. The mob was right behind him. "Boris!" Larry called out. "This way!" Boris didn't need to be told twice. He scrambled up the tree trunk. His claws dug into the bark. He reached the treehouse just as the first stones began to fly. Larry and Zack pulled Boris inside. He collapsed on the floor, panting heavily. The treehouse shook as the mob continued to rage below. "We have to do something," Terry said, his voice calm despite the chaos. He had been watching the mob, his eyes narrowed in thought. "We need to find the White House and clear our names." "But how?" Curly asked. "We can't even leave the treehouse without being attacked." Terry's eyes gleamed. "I have a plan," he announced, "but you're not gonna like it." He turned to Sam. "Sam, I need you to take me with you on your next flight." Sam tilted his head, his sharp eyes studying the small gray cat. "Take you with me," he repeated, "but how?" "You can carry me in your talons," Terry said. "We can fly over the city. I can look for clues from above." The other animals gasped. "That's crazy," Zack exclaimed. "It's too dangerous." "I have to agree with Zack," Jerry said, frowning. "It's too risky, Terry." Terry stood his ground. "It's our only chance," he insisted. "We have to try." Sam looked from Terry to the others. He could see the fear in their eyes, but he could also see the determination in Terry's gaze. He knew that Terry was right. This was their only chance. "Very well," Sam said, spreading his wings wide, casting a shadow over the ground below. His feathers glistened in the sunlight, a testament to his strength and grace. "Get on my back, Terry. We have no time to lose," he urged, his voice filled with determination. Before anyone could object, Terry scurried up Sam's wing, his tiny paws gripping the feathers tightly. He clung to the eagle's back, his heart pounding with a mixture of fear and excitement. The ground seemed so far away now, and the world looked different from this height. Sam took a deep breath and launched himself into the air, his powerful wings beating rhythmically as they ascended. The wind whipped through Terry's fur as they soared above the city, the buildings below shrinking into mere dots. Below them, the mob was still raging, a chaotic sea of movement and noise. But from up here, they seemed small and insignificant, like ants scurrying about with no real purpose. Terry closed his eyes for a moment, savoring the feeling of freedom. The air was crisp and clean, a stark contrast to the chaos below. Then he opened his eyes and began to search, his gaze sweeping across the horizon. He knew what he was looking for, and he was determined to find it. The White House was gone, but Terry was determined to find it. He had to. The city below was a maze, but he wouldn't give up. The fate of all the animals in Washington depended on it. Every second counted, and Terry felt the weight of responsibility on his small shoulders. The adventure was just beginning. With Sam's powerful wings and Terry's sharp eyes, they were ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. Terry and Sam were soaring high, scanning the landscape for any signs of clues. The city below stretched out like a vast, intricate puzzle, each piece waiting to be understood. Suddenly, a thick fog began to roll in, creeping over the landscape like a silent predator. It started as a thin mist, but within moments it grew denser, swallowing the buildings and streets below. Sam's powerful wings cut through the air, but the visibility was rapidly diminishing. Terry's eyes darted around, trying to pierce through the gray shroud that was now enveloping them. The once clear and crisp air was now filled with an eerie silence, broken only by the sound of Sam's wings beating against the thickening fog. They vanished without a trace, the world below completely obscured by the impenetrable mist. Terry's heart raced as he gripped Sam's feathers tighter, the weight of their mission pressing down on him even harder now. The mission to save Washington just got more complicated. Lost in the fog, they had to rely on their instincts and each other more than ever before. As they continued to navigate through the blinding fog, Terry's determination grew stronger. He knew they couldn't give up. The fate of all the animals in Washington depended on them. With every beat of Sam's wings, they pushed forward, ready to face whatever new challenges this mysterious fog would bring. The adventure was far from over, but Terry and Sam were more determined than ever. The thick fog may have complicated their mission, but it also steeled their resolve. With a flash of light, both Sam and Terry disappeared. Together, they would find a way through no matter what it took.